All right, good morning. Happy Monday. I am excited to be doing my last Instagram Live of 2023. It has been so much fun interviewing local experts and yeah, just there's so many great resources in this area, and I am grateful to share. And So we'll be starting in just a bit. My guest today is, oh, yay! It worked. Welcome, Nicole.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
This is my
Awesome.
first time doing an Instagram live, so I'm glad it works.
Yeah, and it's like it worked well on your end and my end. And sometimes I like don't say anything while I'm trying to figure it out. So today I was like, oh, I got some filler words. But yeah, so Nicole, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what do you do and who do you help?
Great. Well, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. So I am the owner of Bwell Baby, and I provide pediatric occupational therapy services in the home and infant-specific wellness services virtually and also in the home. And I'm based out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Awesome sauce. Love that so much. And so I love that we got connected through some local doulas, the doulas of Raleigh, and just really loved hearing about how you support parents and babies very early after birth. And I'm curious, how did you get started in your field with your specialty?
I started a really long time ago when I was 4. It's been a very long career journey. No, I used to, play with dolls, and I used to tell people that I wanted to be a baby doctor. So, when I went to college, I became an infant toddler teacher. I have a degree in early childhood special education. And then I figured out through a convoluted path that I could be a therapist working in the neonatal ICU. And so that became my goal from that point on. Um, and so I, went back to school and became an occupational therapist and worked in the home setting, similar to what I'm doing now. Um, Working with babies and toddlers in that 0 to 3 population in order to gain some more experience. And then I got a job working in a neonatal ICU in Florida. And I've worked in the NICU for about 10 years before deciding I wanted to start my own practice. So it's been a long-winded journey, but always with a baby focus since day
That's
one.
That's amazing. Yeah. And I love the long journeys because sometimes those are like the best way to like find your passion and make your business. It's like your dream coming true, like of all the years of stuff you've gone through. So that's amazing. And then so when you're not like hanging out with babies and their parents, what are some things you do for fun in your spare time?
I like running, so I am a member of a couple running groups in the area. So I do that a couple times a week. So that's my social time and my running time. And then I also like to go hiking, so I try to get out to Umstead or some of the local trails, at least once a week to do that.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Fellow runner. And what's a fun fact that people may not know about you if you're running?
I've run 16 half marathons. I just did the City of Oaks recently, and I was like, how many of these have I done? So I looked it all up, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's been 16.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
incredible. And City of Hopes is a pretty challenging one. Those hills, from what I've heard. I haven't done that one, but those hills.
Yeah, they were, it was hilly, but I ran a lot at the Museum of Art, which has hills, so I prepared.
Nice, nice. So it wasn't too foreign to you. That's amazing.
Mm-mm.
Um, cool. And then so with the work you do, so you like you're a specialist in the neonatal care. So you've helped babies who are itty bitty. What would you say? And then you also have education with like the toddlers, so the bigger
Mhm.
crowd. What would you say is one of the top reasons parents reach out to for help?
I'd say mostly, especially lately, has been motor delay. So babies that are having difficulty with tummy time, rolling, and crawling. That's a very popular reason parents start getting a little concerned, like, hey, shouldn't my baby be crawling right now? Um, and sometimes they just need a little bit of an edge to, couple tweaks to how they're moving their bodies. And sometimes it's a lot more involved with needing to gain some strength and coordination and equaling out their, strength on both sides of their body. So that seems to be pretty popular
Okay.
reason to reach out.
And so that's really good to know. So like if kiddo is having trouble with some of the like the tummy time and the rolling milestones, and then like prophylactically, parents could also reach out to if they just wanted to make sure the baby's on the right track before something seemed off.
Yeah, so one of the aims of having my own business was to help parents who just might have questions and they don't know who to turn to. So we kind of have this wall with insurance and doctors not having a lot of time to speak with parents about their concerns about their baby's development. Pediatricians are great for keeping our babies healthy, but they don't always have the time to go into detail about, supporting their overall development. So that's why I offer classes for babies and toddlers so that they can come play, maybe learn some new activities or some new movement patterns. Parents can ask lots of questions and just that gives them access to a therapist without needing to go to therapy. And the other option is a personalized wellness consultation. So once again, there doesn't need to be a problem, but many parents have questions, right? Shouldn't my baby be crawling by now, or my baby's crawling funny, and I don't know if it's normal, or what do I do about starting solids? My doctor told me one thing, the internet says something else. Like, what do I do? And so I want to be that person that parents can rely on. That's not just a random person on the internet, but actually, can give a personalized answer and solution for the family.
I love that so much, and that's so important. I see that also in my practice too. We live in a digital world, so you can just click and type, and you have no idea how accurate that information is on Google, who put it there first. Google is not known for being evidence-based. So, and when you
Right.
think about it with like new parents, you're sleep deprived, you've got so many things on your plate, and then to try to sort through to see if like what you're finding on the Google is accurate for what your baby needs. It gives so much peace of mind to know that you could one either do a class, it's like easy to access with an expert, you've been doing this 20 years, or you can even just book in for a personalized like that wellness assessment, so that they can kind of take some of that mystery out of what's happening, and have someone who's been there, done that, um, versus like crowdsourcing from other sleep deprived people, which is not bad. It's just go ahead and like pick your poison. But
Right. You never know what you're going to find. And if it actually pertains to you and your baby, it might be fine for one baby, but it might not work for you. And that's really where that personalization comes in and is super important. Because even if it works for the majority, if it doesn't work for you, then you're kind of stuck.
yes, yeah, and that is so hard. Yeah, just knowing that like N of one, we're all so unique. We don't like our bodies did not read the textbooks. So
Right.
yes, so important to just like know what's best for your baby, and then that can also just help you make the easier decisions as a parent. And so, and then with that, knowing that like parents have a lot of things on their plate, the medical system has a lot of things on their plate. Everybody's doing the best they can, but what's a barrier that you notice a lot for the families that you help?
I think just a lack of knowledge. So a lot of people don't even know what occupational therapy is, let alone how we work with babies and families. Um, and then also access to therapists. So I recently did a workshop and had it, and I was researching and found out that only about 1,000 babies in North Carolina are receiving early intervention services. So that's a very, very small number. Um, and so, part of my practice is to expand and help people get access and realize there is help available, and you don't have to wait.
Mm.
Even pediatricians do, or they're supposed to do, developmental screenings at certain ages. However, those screenings don't even start until 9 months of age. And then there's many studies, but it's pretty much across the board, North Carolina included, that only 50% or less of those screenings are actually happening. So it's just, and then by even 9 months, there could be some movement patterns and sensory challenges that are just building up over time, which are harder to, work on as the baby gets older. So really just trying to get the word out that, we're here, we're available to help, and we can start really early, right after birth. If there's some challenges, sometimes babies come out and they have a tight neck or a flat spot on their head. And I really don't like that wait and see approach, because there's a lot of things therapists can be doing and supporting right from the get-go, and there is no need to wait and see. You can be proactive and prevent future problems.
Absolutely. I love that. And just even thinking about like wait and see, it's not like some things get a little bit easy as a parent, but like when you're on maternity leave, perhaps paternity leave, there's some sort of parental leave. Like what a beautiful opportunity if someone wants to be proactive, or maybe they've even been told wait and see, just to like you can join a class, have a consult, just know that there's resources, because then part of that challenge of parenting is integrating back into regular life.
That's true.
And then it's like the pressures of like taking time off. But parents will drop the earth and the moon for their kids. Um, but if
Yeah.
they really have to, but just recognizing you don't have to wait till you have a five-alarm fire. I love that approach
Right.
of giving yourself and your kid the opportunity to get help sooner. I think that's amazing. And
Yeah.
then with your specialty, what would you say is also something you wish more people knew about having support, maybe for like even those NICU moms, right? So eventually your NICU baby will come home, but like what would be something that those parents could know about having support in those early weeks?
Yeah, I think it's really about forming a community and finding some trusted professionals in the community, reaching out, getting a mom group together, whether that's joining a class with other moms and babies, reaching out for mental health support, and pelvic floor support as well. So just trying to create your community of people that can help you in all sorts of ways. But just don't be afraid to reach out and ask questions. It can be very isolating. So that's another reason why I'm offering different ways to interact and get that access to care. Whether, maybe coming out to a class full of other babies is daunting, especially in those first few months. So getting a virtual consult can help, or, reaching out in different ways. So I'd say just try not to get isolated and try to form your community early on.
I love that. That's beautiful wisdom. And then with that, as we're wrapping up, what would you say is a common myth about occupational therapy that people just don't understand that you could bust, especially when it comes to like babies?
Right, yeah. So the most common phrase that's said to me all the time is, well, babies don't have jobs, so what do you do? So, and that's true, babies, but they have a different type of job. So, in the broad sense of the term, occupation is how we spend our time, right? So it's
Yeah.
how we occupy our time. Um, Occupational therapy was started during World War I, and it was about returning to work, but occupation was used as a broader term back then, and that is, how you spend your time. So babies spend their time by eating, sleeping, bonding with their families, socializing, playing, moving their body, doing all of those things. Those are their jobs. And so occupational therapists can help in all of those areas and help the family, either adapt to the new baby and the routines of life, or addressing a certain area that might be a challenge, and kind of looking at that broad picture.
Love it. Yeah, babies, yeah, babies' jobs are to eat, sleep, play. And
Right.
this is so great. So, well, thank you so much, Nicole, for the time for me just to pick your brain, and also the opportunity to share the amazing work you offer, in Wake County in Raleigh. So just to throw those away for many of the followers. And what's the best way for parents to get connected with you to inquire about your services?
So I'm on Instagram, and it's Bwell Baby. It's just the B without the E. And you can send a DM. You can reach me via email. It's Nicole@bwellbaby.com. And those are probably the two easiest and fastest ways to reach me. And my website, bwellbaby.com, has some information. And yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem. All right, folks. Take care. Bye.
Bye.